Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another video, guys. In today's video, this is going to be our next episode of Myth-Busting Mondays, and for this Myth-Busting Mondays, the final myth is going to be my favorite myth that we have done yet. This myth is going to end up being, can Jimmy Gibbs Jr., the man, the myth, the legend himself, be able to kill the tank? This is going to be so fun to watch because it's going to be like a good old underdog story if this goes according to plan. But if it doesn't and it goes the way that most people probably expect the way it does, it will still be a fun fight to the death nonetheless. Because keep in mind is that Jimmy Gibbs will not go down weak. He will go down swinging because the boy has 1000 HP and is immune to most of the things that the infected and the survivors can do to him, believe it or not. So we're going to be seeing that finale or that badass epic myth at the end, but in the meantime, we've got our 4 other middle tier myths here to go, but however, though, they still are fun nonetheless. So if you guys end up enjoying today's video and you're looking forward to today's episode of Myth-Busting Mondays, please show your support as always by dropping a like, comment, subscribe, and all that beautiful stuff. But yeah, guys, let's get on with the next episode of Myth-Busting Mondays. Myth. Can you kill a special infected with Gnome Chompski? Alrighty guys, it only took me
2 hours later
to end up getting Gnome Chompski, so right now you're just seeing the remaining gameplay of me beating the minigame in order to unlock him, because you can't end up spawning him with cheats as far as I am aware. That is unless there is some sort of command that if you guys happen to know if it does exist, if you could put it in the comment section, I would definitely appreciate it. But in the meantime, I just went the old-fashioned way and beat the game. So now what I'm going to do is with my console commands via my new mod menu that I got via a Steam mod because it was recommended to me by one of my subscribers, which by the way, shout out to that very subscriber, Samuel, and Attila, I believe is how his last name is pronounced. Forgive me, Samuel, if I butcher. I normally just call you Samuel in my comments. But yeah, shout out to Samuel. He's a G. He helped me out with this big time. And as you guys can see, I've enabled the director, and now we got a hunter heading our way. So I got Gnome Chompski ready, and he's ready to beat his ass. Come on, Gnome Chompski. You got this, G. Come on, Hunter. 1v1 him. You can't catch these hands. You can't catch these gnome hands. And, yep, it looks like he didn't catch these hands. It looks like that he lost. So Gnome Chompski is victorious, ladies and gentlemen. We got a winner. This myth is officially confirmed. Myth. Can you still defib someone that uses the dead center shortcut to get to the safe room on the first chapter? Alrighty guys, so the way I decided to end up doing this was in solo, just so that way there would be no complications. And the way I did this is that I just loaded up both my normal cheat menu that I was using before I installed the mods that Samuel recommended to me, and then I also ended up using his mods as well. So what I decided to do is I decided to enable no clip and line up Nick in a certain pathway, so that way when I end up disabling no clip and I quickly switch over to Ellis, he will fall and the game will not end because the character that I'm playing as will still technically be alive, which will now be Ellis, even though originally once was Nick. And then what I will do from there is that I will kick Rochelle and Coach, so that way they won't try to revive Nick out of a safe room. And then I will end up becoming Ellis with no clip and fly down to where Nick's dead body is, and with a defib, I'm going to see if I can try to revive him, so that way we can end up seeing if this shortcut still works. So I'm going to end up killing Nick, and then quickly switch over to Ellis so the game does not end, but Nick is now dead. And then I'm going to end up kicking Rochelle and Coach in just a few seconds here, so that way they will not mess this myth up, because I did this once, and they did that already to me once before, which kind of sucks. So I kicked them both, and now what I'm going to do with Ellis is, like I said, I'm just going to go into no clip, and I'm going to fly down to Nick, and then when I'm going to go fly down to Nick, I'm just going to grab the defib that was on his person, because I gave everyone defibs. So that way I should just be able to instantly revive him, or it may not even let me. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe they patch this or something. So I'm going to look around after I end up disabling it real quick. So now I can run around like normal. I'm going to grab Nick's defib, and we're just going to pull it out and see. Let's see, Nick. Come on, wakey wakey, come back from the dead. And yep, there he is. There is Nick, your friendly neighborhood narcissist. Alright, there he is, and he's running to the safe room, and so am I. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that myth is confirmed. You can actually still use the dead center shortcut to get to the first chapter safe room. Let's go. Myth. Can you prevent the minigun from overheating and spam it instead? Alrighty guys, so we are loaded up on the second chapter here of Crash Course. I'm just going to very quickly turn on the power, which will end up activating the finale, just so that way we can be able to see, because this would be really hard to judge with the lights off. So now we're going to be going over to the room with the truck. I'm just going to be getting over to the minigun here. Now this is the minigun model that's from Left 4 Dead 1, where it's the old death machine style type of Gatling gun. So it could be a different result depending on which minigun I guess you could say you use. But I'm going to be using the Crash Course Left 4 Dead 1 style minigun for this myth. And I'm just spraying into the wall, just letting you guys just see the normal gameplay, just how this ends up functioning. You guys can see that over a while, it does end up getting hot, and it ends up making it so that way you typically have to back off. But you guys can put 2 to 2 together, obviously. You guys are smart individuals. You can see that if it ends up getting red hot, that means you can't use it. If it ends up becoming neutral colors, where it's just back to normal, you can start using it again. But however, though, just because it visually looks like it's back to normal, it doesn't mean that it might be 100% back to normal. It just could end up getting rid of the red glow only. You know what I mean? Because we only backed off it for a few seconds. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be counting here shortly, just so that way we can see how long this thing will end up lasting. And then from there, we'll see after the base time, if doing any sort of trick will reset the time. Alrighty guys, let's see how long it will take for the minigun before it will kick us off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23 seconds. It takes 23 seconds before the thing will manually kick you off because it's overheated by itself. Now, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to be doing a thing where we're going to be trying to pull a technicality on the minigun. So we're going to be seeing if the minigun's cooldown is more visual, where like if the gun's not red hot visually, then you can use it again, or if it's going to be based off of just sheer amount of time, because the amount of time that you use the thing, it should take maybe roughly about that amount of time before you should be able to use it again in the hypothetical sense, because it's obviously got to take more than just like a couple seconds. So as you guys can see, the gun is red hot, there's still smoke coming out, and we just spammed it for its normal 23 seconds. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going all the way up until 20, and then when we end up doing those 20 seconds, we're going to get off and then hop back on, see if it'll only give us 3 seconds to shoot until it's fully cooled down after a certain period of time, or if it's going to give us more or less. We'll have to wait and see. So when the time that this ends up ending here where I'm shooting, it's 20 seconds. You guys can see it's red, so we should have 3 more left. 1, 2, 3. Actually, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. What the hell? What the hell was that? So unless this is a fluke, I'm just looking at the footage right now. Even in the editing, I'm still astonished by this. But the gun's still piping red hot, and there's smoke coming out of it. And the original base time was roughly about 23 seconds. You guys saw that. You did it with me. And yet it's going over the additional 3 seconds that I thought it had remaining. And it's basically like it cooled down like extremely abnormally fast. So I'm just confused. And so unless it's a visual thing that doesn't match up with the game, like it's a delay of some kind, then from what I'm seeing, this myth is basically confirmed. But however, though, due to the fact that I only ended up using one minigun and my data was only just based off of what I experienced, I'm going to leave it at plausible, to be fair. I don't want to say it's definitively confirmed, but I will say this, that it's definitely plausible. I'm starting to see something fishy going on here. Myth. Can you avoid the crows on the second chapter of the sacrifice? Alrighty guys, so we are on the second chapter of the sacrifice. We are on the barge. Now, as you guys know, the way that this chapter works for the crows is that you have to basically climb up this pile of trash, and you are extremely slow, and you have to end up getting on the boat via this one long giant tube, and that's the only way you can end up getting in there traditionally. Now, you might be wondering, okay, well, then if this is the only way and they set it up in such a way, then how the heck are you supposed to get around this? Well, that's what I thought about myself, my friends. I decided to end up trying to jump on the cement truck that is crashed, and there's an invisible barrier, so it blocks you, so you can't do that. So that's one way that I was going to try to do this that is unfortunately busted. Then what I decided to do is I wanted to try to see if I could climb in and interact with this parked truck, or this crashed truck. But once again, it doesn't work because this one just doesn't have a hit scan to climb in the first place. So then what I decided to do is I was like, you know what? Maybe I could just sneak up on the birds, because the birds are technically above you. They're not really like right there in your face. Not like you jump scare them like you do in Back 4 Blood. So I was thinking to myself, just being like, you know what if I just crouch and I just snuck up on them? Like, what if I like hid under the scaffolding or something, you know? So what I decided to do is I literally just crouched walked, and I even lined myself up under the thing, so that way the birds would hopefully not get scared. But as soon as I'm in line of sight, they end up, you know, instantly getting pissed at me, and they end up summoning a horde. because the way the game's code is that I just tripped an invisible barrier. So right now you might be asking yourselves, being like, is that it? Does that mean that the myth is busted? Are you done, John? Do you give up? Well, no, my friends, I do not give up, because I do have one more idea up my sleeve, and that's what I'm going to be doing here right now. I'm going to be trying this in a different game mode. This was one of the brand new mutations that was added in with the Last Stand update, and that is going to end up being Rocket Dude, because in Rocket Dude, you end up getting a grenade launcher, which gives you corpse launch abilities, where you can be able to fling yourself in the air like crazy, and you can get into spots that you weren't able to get into before. So now I'm curious, with this game mode, does it make an exception? Alrighty guys, so we're here, so I'm just going to be, instead of going up the right pathway, I'm going to go to the left pathway. I'm going to see if I can get on the boat, and yeah, it lets you on the boat. In fact, it does it quite easily. I am on the boat now, and that means I did not end up upsetting the crows. Now, just to clarify, in case any of you guys are skeptical, you may be wondering, being like, oh, well, what if the game mode just makes the exception by default? What if that was intended? What if that was the main purpose behind this game mode, was to neglect those types of things? Well, my friend, let me reassure you about anything that you may be doubting. So if I end up going over back to where the crows would normally end up getting triggered, I end up getting hunted, and as you guys can see via the text of the captions that I got on the screen, there is an incoming attack, which means that the horde is tripped and the crows did get upset at me. Which means that this myth is confirmed, because in Rocket Dude, it allows you to be able to end up getting through to the ship regardless of tripping the crows or not. Alrighty guys, so now we are down to the final myth. We are down to the epic fight. We are going to be going now to the fight of the century, where it is going to be the OG, the original, the buff tank versus now the new up-and-comer, the man, the myth, the legend, the underdog, Jimmy Gibbs Jr. Now keep in mind, I once again want to reiterate, is that Jimmy Gibbs is not a weak, normal zombie. He's really quite special, because out of all the infected in the game, at least for the uncommons, he's the strongest, because he's immune to essentially everything. Now, when it comes to fighting the special infected, he's definitely at a disadvantage, because every one of them basically has more abilities and more health from him, minus a couple of exceptions, such as the boomer technically being weaker. But this isn't going to be a boomer fight, this is going to end up being a tank fight, the strongest zombie in all of Left 4 Dead. So let's see if Jimmy Gibbs Jr. is up to the task of taking on, basically, the Goliath. So this is going to be a David and Goliath type of story. Let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens.
Myth.
Can Jimmy Gibbs Jr. defeat the tank? Alrighty guys, so I used some mods to be able to force Jimmy to spawn in. And the way that I wanted to do this to make this easier for the sake of your guys' entertainment is I just spawned in several different Jimmy Gibbs Jr.'s. So this is essentially going to be I guess you could say like a team effort on Jimmy's parts to be able to defeat the tank. So I'm going to be spawning in probably about like a dozen Jimmys at a time, and they're just going to be trying to go for them. And I'm going to be having God mode and everything, and I'm just going to be staying away from the tank because the tank will be trying to focus me hardcore. So the way I'm going to be going about this is I will just stay away. I will throw a bio bomb on the tank, so that way the Jimmy Gibbs army will end up attacking him rather than trying to join force with the tank and attack me. So just do what I did, guys, where you end up sitting back, grab a drink, grab a snack, maybe take a dump, and enjoy this epic battle. Alrighty, everyone, here we go. Cue the fight. Dun 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 dun. Alrighty, so I threw a bio bomb on the tank. And even though it's in really fast motion and it might be hard to see, I'm just doing this so that way the gameplay is only 1 minute and there's no cuts, so it doesn't look like that. I ended up doing some editing to make it look like it was a certain fight with a certain result. But yeah, as you guys can see, I got my armies of Jimmy Gibbs Jr.'s by my side, and they are attacking the tank. I just keep bio-bombing the tank, but in turn also getting Jimmy. Now, the Jimmys do occasionally attack each other, but there always at least is one Jimmy attacking the tank because they're all piled up in a group. So now we're starting to get to what I believe would probably be the end of the fight sometime soon. So I'm just going to take the gameplay off of slow motion here. And as you guys can see, there's still a few Jimmys going. Jimmy's still in this. Jimmy's still in this. But the tank is the tank after all. He's throwing rocks at me, but however, though, I am distracting him. So, I mean, really, guys, this could be a coin flip. Do you guys think that you're going to get the result that would be the easy way out? Do you think you're going to get the result that would be the preferred best way to go about this? I don't know. It really could be. They could have gone logical. They could have ended up going with the fun way. I mean, that's the whole entire point about Myth-Busting Mondays, after all, guys. They always do make it just so that way it's just down to chance. You know, you never know if you end up never trying it, so I'm just going to kill all these remaining Jimmys and getting them out of the way. It should only end up being possibly just a few more epic cinematic moments left. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think's gonna happen. So the tank is here. I'm gonna throw one last bio bomb at him right here to confirm, to see if this is gonna be myth busted or myth confirmed. And so he's walking over there. He's really slowing down. He looks like he's trying to escape. Maybe the tank's wussing out. Maybe he's losing. Maybe he's winning. I don't know. Let's see. He's throwing one last rock, and oh my god, he actually did it. Jimmy Gibbs Jr. did it. Holy crap, he actually did it. Jimmy Gibbs Jr. just defeated the tank. What have I just witnessed? I can't believe this. This myth is actually confirmed. Jimmy Gibbs Jr. can defeat the tank. What the hell? Oh my god, that's so cool. And keep in mind, the tank was fighting back because any sort of zombies that gets in the way of him when he's trying to go after a player, he'll just punt them out of the way. But with the army of Jimmy Gibbs Jr. and I guess all the positive vibes that Ellis was putting out to Jimmy, he just got motivated. Ellis was like Jimmy's cheerleader there, and he did it. He pulled through. Jimmy Gibbs Jr. can defeat the tank. So guys, this myth is officially confirmed. What a badass battle. Wow, guys, what an amazing episode today of Myth Busting Mondays. That was a lot of fun testing out all those myths. And if you guys enjoyed, please end up showing your support by dropping a like, comment, and subscribe. I can't wait to do another Myth Busting Mondays episode next week because I can't wait to see what you guys end up leaving for some myths down below. But yeah, if you guys end up enjoying today's video, just once again, please show your guys' support by dropping a like, comment, subscribe. This series has been a lot of fun. We're 10 episodes deep. I would love to be another 10 episodes deep. So yeah, if you end up enjoying, just one last time, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you guys would like to financially support the channel, I would definitely appreciate if you guys could go check out my Patreon. It's always linked down below my YouTube video descriptions. Or you guys can use supporter creator code BlackNinja797 in all caps in the Fortnite Epic Games item shops, because Epic is my very first sponsor, and it's also truly appreciated. But yeah, guys, I will see you guys next week for another episode of Myth Busting Mondays, and I hope you end up enjoying another YouTube video from the most unique YouTuber you guys are ever going to see. Thank you for watching, guys, and peace out.
Hey, meme lords, Jesus here, and you better have enjoyed that video there by the eternal god Daddy Ninja. You should probably subscribe too, or the mighty Moab will come for your balls. If you enjoyed the video, you might like it too, and give me the memes. Flash, bang, boom!